Listen closely, because the path of destiny is whispering your name tonight. A message from the divine has reached you, one that may change the course of your heart forever. Somewhere, in the quiet depths of your life, God has already revealed who your future spouse is. Yet this revelation is not a gift you simply receive, it is a truth you must be ready to embrace. In this journey, readiness is not about rushing, longing, or seeking. It is about stillness, clarity, and inner mastery. Tonight, we will explore the principles that prepare you for this sacred connection, the disciplines that sharpen the mind, awaken the heart, and align your soul with destiny itself. You will learn why silence can reveal truths louder than any voice, how patience can become your greatest ally, and why understanding your own shadows is the key to recognizing the light in another. We will dive into wisdom that few speak of, subtle signs in daily life that point toward your partner, ancient practices that awaken your intuition, and the quiet rituals that open the heart to divine timing. By the end of this video, you will see your path with sharper eyes, feel your purpose with deeper certainty, and understand the sacred preparation required before the meeting that can transform your life. Stay with me through every moment, because each insight builds upon the last, guiding you closer to readiness, clarity, and awakening. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom meets modern life, and the soul learns its true rhythm. If your heart is ready to listen, subscribe now and step into the practice that turns revelation into reality. Before the world can reveal its secrets to you, the journey must begin within. Tonight we step into a principle that has guided warriors and sages alike. Mastery of the self comes before mastery of anything else. In Shaolin tradition, no victory in battle or acclaim in the world holds lasting power if the mind is restless, the heart unsettled, and the spirit divided. Every emotion you feel, every thought you entertain, leaves a trace in the energy you carry. When your heart is clouded by doubt, fear, or unexamined desires, it becomes a mirror that only reflects confusion. The path to recognizing your future spouse, the one whose soul aligns with yours, is paved by clarity within. The deeper you know your own heart, the truer you become, and the energy you radiate begins to call forth the partner who resonates with your higher purpose. Consider the monks in their daily practice, each movement deliberate, each breath observed, each thought acknowledged, but not clung to. This is not discipline for its own sake, but a cultivation of awareness, a shaping of the inner vessel so it may hold the rare and sacred. In the same way, your own life must be observed and refined. Notice the patterns that pull you into reaction, the wounds that quietly guide your choices, the strengths that illuminate your path. When you walk this inner path, you move differently in the world. Decisions are not rushed, attachments loosen, and the heart opens without expectation. Only from this place of self-mastery can the divine whisper of your future partner be heard clearly. Your readiness is not measured by what you seek outside, but by the stillness, understanding, and balance you have cultivated inside. There is a power in silence that words cannot capture. True insight often arrives not in the rush of movement, but in the gentle pause between breaths. In the halls of Shaolin, monks sit in quiet observation, eyes closed yet fully awake, aware of every shift in energy, every subtle vibration around them. It is in these moments of stillness that clarity emerges, like sunlight breaking through a dense forest. The mind, when restless, scatters attention across endless distractions. Desire, fear, and expectation cloud perception, hiding the truths that are always present. Stillness is the doorway that clears the mind and allows the subtle language of the universe to be heard. Signs appear in unexpected ways, through fleeting thoughts, subtle feelings, or sudden recognition of patterns long unnoticed. These whispers are often the first hints of what is destined, including the presence of a future partner whose path is aligned with your own. Daily practice of quiet reflection is not simply a habit, it is a discipline of the soul. Even a few minutes of mindful sitting can train the mind to observe without judgment, to sense without interference, and to feel without grasping. Each moment of stillness strengthens inner mastery, teaching patience, focus, and the ability to move through life without being pulled by every external current. The ancients understood this deeply. They knew that the answers we seek are rarely found in pursuit or in noise. Instead, they reside in the spaces between action, in the calm heart that can witness life as it truly unfolds. By cultivating these moments, the mind becomes a clear mirror, the heart a receptive vessel, and the spirit attuned to subtle guidance. In such quiet awareness, the path to one's future spouse may become visible not through force, but through gentle recognition flowing naturally from inner readiness and disciplined presence. Discipline is the silent architect of transformation. It is the quiet force that shapes the mind, sharpens the heart, and steadies the spirit. In the practice of Shaolin, mastery is never accidental. Monks rise before dawn, their bodies moving through precise forms, their minds anchored in awareness. Every movement is deliberate, every breath measured. Through this discipline, they build a vessel capable of withstanding challenges both seen and unseen. Personal mastery demands the same dedication. It begins with the simple yet profound act of observing oneself. Impulses arise, desires, fears, reactions, but they are not commands. They are signals, guiding lights that reveal the state of the mind. By noticing them without surrendering, the mind gains control, and the heart gains freedom. Thoughts are refined through reflection, emotions tempered through awareness. Each small act of self-discipline strengthens the ability to respond with clarity rather than react in haste. Being ready for a life partner is not a matter of timing or luck. It is the alignment of energy, habits, and focus. The habits cultivated daily, from patience to integrity, shape the frequency of the soul. The focus maintained on inner growth, rather than fleeting distraction, prepares the heart to recognize and sustain a meaningful connection. Just as the Shaolin trained their bodies to endure, the spirit must be trained to remain steady even amidst uncertainty. Discipline is not rigid or punitive. It is the pathway to freedom. It is the conscious practice of turning inward, refining the self, and preparing to meet life fully present. The future cannot be summoned through desire alone. It arrives for those who have cultivated readiness. In the quiet rigor of daily practice, the soul becomes a home capable of welcoming the one who aligns not just with your heart but with the deepest purpose of your existence. True strength begins where the light meets the shadow. In Shaolin philosophy, mastery is not measured only by skill or knowledge, but by the courage to face what lies hidden within. The shadow is not an enemy to be banished. It is a teacher, revealing fears, past wounds, and beliefs that quietly shape every choice. To ignore it is to walk blindly through life, carrying burdens that can distort even the deepest connections. Self-awareness begins with observation without judgment. Notice the patterns that repeat, the emotions that flare, the thoughts that pull you into old habits. These are not flaws to be punished, but signals to be understood. Each fear, each lingering doubt holds a message about the self that is waiting to be recognized. By facing these parts of the inner world, the mind grows stronger and the heart more compassionate. A relationship cannot thrive if built only on surface harmony. Without understanding your own shadow, hidden tensions and unhealed wounds can shape interactions in ways unnoticed, creating patterns of pain or misunderstanding. Recognizing weaknesses is as vital as celebrating strengths. Strength without awareness can become arrogance. Light without shadow can blind. The path of shadow integration is subtle, often quiet, but profoundly transformative. Ancient practices teach that by sitting with discomfort, by observing without reaction, the mind learns patience, the heart learns acceptance, and the spirit learns resilience. In this integration, clarity emerges. You begin to understand why certain energies attract you, why certain dynamics repeat, and how to choose consciously rather than react unconsciously. Only through this deep self-knowledge can a healthy relationship take root. When the inner world is seen fully, the soul becomes capable of meeting another without projection, without fear, and without unhealed patterns. The shadow, once embraced, becomes a foundation for wisdom, empathy, and a connection that reflects truth rather than illusion. The heart carries a language that the mind cannot always understand. Ancient teachings remind us that action rooted in ego or fleeting desire often leads to confusion, imbalance, and missed opportunities. True power emerges when the heart guides the hand, the words, and the choices we make. Every thought aligned with kindness, every gesture infused with awareness shapes the energy we send into the world. Cultivating heart-centered action begins quietly in small, intentional practices. Compassion is not a feeling reserved for extraordinary moments. It is a discipline woven into daily life. To pause before speaking, to listen fully without judgment, to offer help without expectation. These are acts that train the heart as a vessel of clarity and strength. Patience becomes more than endurance. It becomes a steady rhythm that harmonizes the mind and body, allowing decisions to flow naturally rather than reactively. Empathy deepens when the self is observed with honesty, recognizing both the light and shadow in oneself and others. The energy cultivated in this way is magnetic, subtle yet undeniable. When the heart leads, it resonates with others who share the same authenticity and depth. Your future spouse will sense this energy, not through words or gestures alone, but through the alignment of your being, an unspoken recognition of shared values, respect, and inner harmony. Ancient masters taught that the greatest victories are not won through strength or intellect, but through the quiet cultivation of virtue and presence. Acting from the heart aligns the outer world with inner wisdom, creating a life that naturally attracts what is meant to be. In this practice, the soul becomes both guide and guardian, ensuring that every choice is an expression of truth, every relationship a reflection of genuine resonance. Through heart-centered action, the path to love and connection unfolds with clarity, patience, and the gentle certainty of divine timing. There is a subtle strength in letting go that many mistake for weakness. In Shaolin wisdom, surrender is not a retreat from life, but a conscious alignment with forces greater than the self. The mind that clings tightly to outcomes, to control, or to expectation becomes heavy, restless, and blind. True mastery begins when this grip is released, and the heart opens to the rhythm of life itself. Surrender does not mean inaction. It does not call for laziness or indifference. It is an active choice to trust, to move with the flow rather than against, and to honor timing that is beyond human calculation. The universe has its own pulse, its own perfect orchestration, and surrender is the discipline of allowing that order to guide us. By letting go, the mind finds calm, the heart gains clarity, and the soul becomes a vessel receptive to what is destined. Attachment often blinds us to subtle signs and opportunities. We may seek, chase, or force what is meant to arrive naturally. In doing so, we create resistance, divert energy, and cloud perception. Surrender releases this tension, creating space for insight, guidance, and synchronicity. It is in this openness that the path toward a future partner begins to appear, not through desire, but through resonance. Ancient practices teach that the moment of surrender is also the moment of awakening. The body, mind, and spirit align when resistance falls away. Actions become deliberate, choices become wiser, and encounters become meaningful. By relinquishing control, life itself becomes the teacher, revealing timing, guidance, and connections that were always present yet hidden behind our grasping. Through surrender, the journey to love is transformed. The soul learns patience, trust, and the subtle art of alignment. The meeting of two hearts becomes not a coincidence, but a reflection of readiness, clarity, and the quiet orchestration of destiny itself. The universe speaks in whispers, not shouts. Often the guidance we seek arrives not through grand events, but through subtle signs, fleeting feelings, and gentle synchronicities. In the quiet moments of reflection, when the mind is still and the heart open, these signals become visible, guiding the way forward with a precision that can feel almost miraculous. Recognizing divine signs requires practice, patience, and a disciplined awareness of life's rhythms. The Shaolin masters understood this deeply. Every gesture, every sound, every movement in the natural world was observed, noted, and understood as a reflection of the greater order. So too, in our own lives, Subtle patterns may point toward a path, a choice, or a connection that aligns with our highest purpose. These cues are often easy to miss if the mind is cluttered, the heart restless, or the attention scattered. When the timing is right, your future spouse may enter your life through these quiet channels, a chance encounter, a fleeting sense of recognition, or an inner knowing that defies logic. It is not coincidence but resonance, the meeting of energies attuned through readiness and awareness, yet the signs will remain unnoticed unless cultivated with mindfulness, without doubt or fear. Observing without judgment allows clarity to emerge, and intuition to become a trusted guide rather than a fleeting fancy. Ancient teachings remind us that the world is alive with intelligence and guidance, waiting for those prepared to see. By practicing stillness, observing patterns, and nurturing awareness, the subtle language of the universe becomes understandable. Each sign, each synchronicity is a gentle nudge, a quiet hand guiding the seeker closer to alignment, clarity, and the meeting that was always destined. In this careful attention, the soul learns to navigate life with grace, discernment, and an unshakable trust in the unseen currents that shape destiny. Every encounter in life is a reflection, a mirror held up to the soul. Relationships are not only about the other person, they reveal the landscape of our own heart. The energies we carry, the fears we harbor, and the unhealed wounds we conceal are often reflected back to us in the way others respond, challenge, or support us. This mirror is not meant to punish, but to teach. Preparing for a life partner begins with refining the self. Character, values, and emotional maturity are the foundation upon which healthy relationships are built. Without this inner work, attraction alone cannot sustain connection. Ancient wisdom teaches that the outer world cannot correct the inner imbalance. The harmony sought in a relationship must first be cultivated within. The discipline of self-reflection, patience, and integrity becomes the soil in which love can grow. Observation is the key to understanding this mirror. Notice your reactions. Moments of anger, insecurity, or impatience reveal unresolved shadows. Patterns that repeat in your interactions point toward lessons the soul is still learning. Expectations, whether spoken or unspoken, illuminate the standards your heart is setting, sometimes unconsciously, for what it is prepared to accept or reject. Shaolin teachings emphasize awareness and presence as the pillars of mastery. By observing without judgment, the self becomes clear, balanced, and ready. The mirror of relationships teaches that readiness is not about finding perfection in another, but embodying it within. Only when the heart and mind are disciplined, the values anchored, and the emotions steady, can the meeting with a future spouse be one of resonance rather than projection. In this reflection, every connection, every encounter becomes a lesson, a guide, and a preparation for the sacred partnership waiting beyond the veil of time and circumstance. Patience is not merely waiting, it is an active cultivation of presence and resilience. In the Shaolin tradition, endurance is valued above haste. Monks spend years perfecting forms, meditating, and observing the natural rhythms of life. Each moment of practice, each repetition, is a testament to the power of sustained effort and disciplined patience. This same principle applies to matters of the heart, where timing cannot be forced and true connection cannot be hurried. Love, in its deepest form, unfolds according to divine rhythm, not human schedules. It arrives when the soul is ready, when lessons have been learned, and when inner work has prepared the heart to meet another without need or projection. Attempts to accelerate this process often create resistance, anxiety, and disappointment. Patience allows the heart to mature, the mind to sharpen, and the spirit to attune to the subtle currents guiding destiny. Waiting with purpose transforms patience into a practice. It is not passive idleness, but deliberate engagement with self-growth. Each day becomes an opportunity to refine habits, cultivate emotional depth, and strengthen awareness. By aligning actions with inner discipline, the soul prepares a fertile ground for a connection that is enduring and profound. The energy of readiness, grounded in patience, radiates outward, naturally attracting what is harmonious and true. Ancient teachings remind us that all meaningful arrivals, whether wisdom, mastery, or love, emerge from the patient alignment of effort and surrender. Endurance is not measured by the length of waiting, but by the depth of presence maintained during it. Through this spiritual practice, the heart learns trust, the mind learns stillness, and the soul gains the insight to recognize what is destined when it finally appears. In patience, love is not chased. It is revealed, ripening in perfect timing, quietly but irrevocably. A life aligned with higher purpose moves with a quiet certainty that cannot be forced or fabricated. In Shaolin philosophy, every action is measured against the harmony of the whole, and every choice is weighed for its contribution to the greater path. A soulmate, when truly destined, is not a mere reflection of desire or fleeting longing. They are a partner who resonates with the mission of the soul, a companion whose presence amplifies growth, understanding, and contribution. True alignment begins with clarity of purpose. The soul must first know its direction, its commitments, and its values. Without this inner orientation, connection may bring comfort, but not depth. When purpose and partnership meet in harmony, life flows with ease and meaning. Each action, choice, and intention becomes an offering, not only to oneself, but to the shared journey of growth. The discipline cultivated through reflection, meditation, and mindful practice prepares the heart to recognize and honor this alignment. Partnership rooted in higher purpose requires readiness to serve, to give without expectation, and to evolve alongside another. It is not about control or fulfillment of personal agendas, but about mutual expansion. Ancient masters taught that love, when aligned with Dharma, is transformative. It elevates, strengthens, and illuminates paths that might otherwise remain hidden. Challenges are met not as obstacles, but as opportunities to refine character and deepen understanding. The connection that emerges from such alignment is subtle yet profound. It is felt in shared vision, in resonance of values, and in the unspoken understanding that each contributes to the other's evolution. Readiness to embrace this path requires patience, self-discipline, and humility, yet it rewards with a union that is both sacred and enduring. In the embrace of higher purpose, love becomes a reflection of the soul's true journey, a partnership that honors growth, harmony, and the unfolding of destiny itself. The journey toward meeting your future spouse is not a path of haste, but a path of inner awakening. It begins within, with stillness that reveals truth, discipline that shapes readiness, and awareness that illuminates every shadow. Each step of self-mastery, each moment of heart-centered action, prepares the soul to recognize what has always been destined. Trust in timing, for life unfolds in its own rhythm. Integrate your fears, your wounds, and your patterns, and allow them to teach you. Align your actions and intentions with your higher purpose, and let your energy resonate with clarity, compassion, and authenticity. When these foundations are in place, the meeting of hearts will not be forced or uncertain. It will arrive naturally, unmistakably, and transformatively. Take these lessons into your daily life. Pause, reflect, and act with presence. Observe your thoughts, refine your habits, and cultivate patience and compassion. Each conscious choice brings you closer to readiness, shaping a path where love and destiny converge seamlessly. May your journey be calm, purposeful, and full of quiet insight. As you move forward, allow the wisdom of stillness, discipline, and spiritual alignment to guide you, and trust that the universe responds to a prepared heart. If this message resonates with you, join our community here at Shaolin Soulfire. Like, subscribe, and step fully into the practice of readiness, clarity, and awakening, so that when your destined connection arrives, you will meet it with a heart open, grounded, and aligned.